The biggest thing that we can do from the school's perspective and we as parents can do is communication, having frank conversations with students about what is out there. In addition to the driving, there are times when students may have the opportunity to be offered the opportunity to drink. Parents need to be very frank about students not drinking, about students not taking anything from anyone else. That includes whatever could look like candy, and it may not be candy. Just being very open and honest that as a parent, I want you to be safe, and I know you want to enjoy yourself, but fun comes with the responsibility of staying safe.
And welcome to the Lunchroom, where we have real conversations about things that matter to students most. I'm Sawyer Stewart.
And I'm Brandon Dowling.
And today we have Chief Tracy Whaley. He is the Executive Director of Public Safety for DeKalb County Schools, and he is also the Chief of Police for DeKalb County Schools. Can you expound on that role for me a little bit?
Yes, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. My role is everything and all things security and safety for the school system. So I am responsible, and my staff, we're all responsible for making sure that each school is safe, that safety measures that are put in place are followed, that the safety tools that we have in place are used, and making sure that we engage with students in a positive manner to make sure that students are successful.
Thank you so much. We're so glad to have you here today. With prom and graduation season right around the corner, it's time to celebrate and make new memories. But it's also important to stay safe while having fun.
So today, we'll be sharing essential prom safety tips and advice on how to make smart choices during graduation season so everyone can enjoy this special time responsibly. So let's jump in and make sure this season is one to remember for all the right reasons.
Okay, well, starting with the first question, prom and graduation are major milestones within the school year, especially for seniors. What are some of the biggest safety concerns with students that we should be aware of leading to these events?
Some of the major safety concerns starts with driving.
Right.
You'll know that even here in DeKalb County, we've had many incidents before and after prom involving students. That is an exciting time.
Yeah.
But we can't forget that a vehicle can be dangerous if it's not used in the right manner. So I want to make sure that students who are driving, make sure that they're focusing on the road, focusing on driving safely, not speeding, and there will be other students in the car many times, making sure that you allow the driver to focus and not distracting the driver. The other thing is we want to be very careful with so many cars on the road on the weekends that you're observing and watching other drivers. Proms usually end around 10:30 or 11. Yeah. That's your time when you have people who may have been drinking also driving. So you want to be careful and watch out for other drivers.
Right.
So how do you think schools and parents as well can work together to ensure students make safe decisions during prom and graduation season?
The biggest thing that we can do from the school's perspective and we as parents can do is communication, having frank conversations with students about what is out there. In addition to the driving, there are times when students may have the opportunity to be offered the opportunity to drink. Parents need to be very frank about students not drinking, about students not taking anything from anyone else. That includes whatever could look like candy, and it may not be candy. Just being very open and honest that as a parent, I want you to be safe, and I know you want to enjoy yourself, but fun comes with the responsibility of staying safe.
Yeah, I'm glad you talked about that. Of course, many students, they may be tempted to, try new things such as alcohol and drug usage. So, how can schools help prevent underage drinking or drug use at these events?
Schools can do the same thing. The open communication, just regular conversation. You don't have to have an elaborate PowerPoint or anything. whatever schools you have an SRO there. That's a good question that you did ask your SRO. If you have a friend who you think may be in a situation where they're going to compromise their safety around prom or any other time, ask the SRO for hints on how can I speak to this person? What can I say to this person? We're at a point in our society where we have to just be honest because there's so much happening. We see so many things on the news. We don't want to be a part of that.
Exactly.
And a good friend helps a friend by telling the truth. And a good friend also says that if my friend is in trouble, I need to tell a responsible party who may know what the next step is, even if I don't.
Right. I think as well as friendship and talking about friends and people being around others while during this prom and graduation season comes a role of peer pressure. So how does peer pressure kind of lead into students maybe driving under the influence, taking illegal substances, things in that nature? And how can you as a friend kind of stop that peer pressure and help your friend out?
So peer pressure leads to people taking chances
Right.
and making bad decisions. And peer pressure can work to where you may not say anything, but if I feel like you expect this of me, or if I want to grab your attention as a peer, I can do something to get your attention. So the thing to do is when you're having your conversation with your friends, whether it's social media conversation, text, whether you're talking in person, just have a conversation that prom is coming up. We want to have fun. We want to drive safe. I'm definitely not going to take any candy from anyone. I'm definitely not going to drink or anything like that. If your friends know that you're not expecting these great things from them,
Right.
but you're just expecting them to enjoy along with them, that takes the bar from here down to where we can just hang around each other, look good in my fit, and have fun.
Right.
Gotcha.
You guys impressed by me using the word fit?
Yes, like you're using the new terminology.
I was trying. I have kids. I've got an 18-year-old in college, and I got a 23 and a 27-year-old. If I said that in front of them, they're like, "Dad, don't do that."
Yeah, I have the same problem with my parents. They're trying to,
Trying to get into the new age.
It's just,
But that goes back to one of your other questions. When we do that, we're just trying to engage with you.
Right.
yeah, of course.
And it's a never-ending thing of engaging because, we're typically 15, 20 years apart, but we have to intentionally work together. What I used to tell my sons, and I still tell them as adults, is that we're on the same team.
Of course.
Yeah.
And the only thing that teammates do is they work together. We don't always get it right as parents. You don't always get it right as students, but we have to work together. And the first thing that I got to do is I have to tell you the truth, and I have to tell you the truth in love.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, of course, you don't want to use drugs and alcohol at these type of things. So are there any alternatives that we can use to still, not use, but still, have a good time at prom, graduation party, things of that nature?
You can plan activities around the prom. What I'd love to see, and we didn't do this many years ago, back in the 20th century when I was a high school student. Everything was black and white. There was no color. It didn't come to color until you guys came along. Is the meal before the prom. I learned that my sons, that they would get together and have a meal before the prom. Plan a nice meal. Doesn't have to be expensive before the prom when you all can get together. Ride to the prom. Enjoy yourself there. Plan some activities at the prom, some safe activities at the prom. And then say after, if my parents are allowing me, they're giving me a curfew to this time, what can we do to constructively use that time? What I've found is that if there's planned activities, there's fun involved. But if you don't plan anything, that's when the pressure is on to do something or to become a part of something. And you don't want to become a part of something when you haven't properly researched what the end is going to be.
Right. And kind of moving to transportation, because you have to drive everywhere, especially in Georgia. But what would you say are the safest ride sharing kind of apps or platforms for people to use if they have taken a substance or if they have done something or even if they haven't?
So I encourage rideshare. I've used the two major ride shares. when I've been out of town on trips, or maybe if I want to go downtown, I've used them. So what I encourage, I don't endorse anyone, but I just say use a rideshare where you have an app that's going to show you a photo of the car.
Right.
It's going to give you the tag number from the car and going to give you a picture of the person who's driving. Confirm this is the person driving. Confirm that this is the tag and the description of the car fits. And therefore, you know that you're safe. And those apps I've found, as I've used them, is they give you feedback during. So whatever apps give you feedback during, before, and during, and they have those safety features in place, you can use those.
Gotcha.
Got it.
So, speaking about transportation, not mainly in Georgia, but mainly globally, texting and driving, drinking while driving has been a main cause in accidents and sometimes, unfortunately, fatal accidents. So, what can you say, some encouraging things that friends can say to their other friends who are driving? What can they do to help them, help prevent them from drinking and driving, texting and driving, things of that nature?
What's your priority?
My priority is that my friends get home safe,
Exactly. And so that's what you want to do as a driver and as a passenger. You want to know what your priority is. The priority is to safely arrive where we're going. So drinking is never safe when driving, and so great that we have ride shares now, and calling a friend is valid as well. And texting. Our phones are so engaging. They've been designed, I found this out, that the phone is only an app on the device.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the whole thing was a phone. It's just an app.
No, it's just the OS system.
And there's so much entertainment there. It's designed to engage us.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Atlanta Falcons.
I do too.
And I'm a man of constant sorrow because they break my heart.
Every single year.
And I keep
Can't
coming
relate.
back.
I keep coming back.
Can't relate.
But I only enjoy a Falcons game during the hours that it's working.
Exactly.
Only enjoy your phone during the time when it's designed for you to enjoy it. Should I enjoy my phone during class? No. Should I enjoy my phone while I'm driving? No.
Yeah.
Should I enjoy my phone when I'm home? If it's within the parameters of what your parents have given you, that's when you can enjoy it. So priorities, get there safely. Only use those things, phones and other things, the way they're supposed to be used and when they're designed to be used.
Sure.
So I want to talk about communication because you talked about that topic a little bit. But what is the best way to communicate with your parents during this time? Would it be better to have a conversation with them before you leave, or maybe a few weeks before you even get to prom, kind of establish boundaries, establish what's okay, what's not okay? What would be the best route to take in that situation?
Start the conversation as early as possible and be honest. Unfortunately, we have lost a lot of young people because of vehicle accidents. Start the conversation early and just be honest. You have to be willing to say what you're thinking and allow the feedback and take in the feedback and process it. And just say, my friends are thinking this, my friends are thinking that, I've seen this, I've seen that. Because the earlier you start the conversation, the more that your parents can set the parameters for you, and you know what your plan is. Tell them who you considering being a part of your prom group or prom team. Just put the information out there. Like I said, many years ago when I was in high school, we didn't communicate a lot, but we didn't have the internet. We didn't have social media. We didn't have so many things coming at us as young people. We could focus more. Now there's so much coming at you that you don't have the time to wait. Start the conversation now. Start the conversation with your parents. Start the conversation with your peers, and do your own research and bring that to the table during those conversations.
Yeah. Okay.
That was great advice. Thank you.
Yeah. So, wrapping up here, our final question: how can students set clear boundaries with their friends or, of course, their date to make sure everyone is comfortable and safe, when going to prom or going to a graduation or graduation party?
So, what I found out in the years that I've worked in public safety is the state of Georgia by law considers your vehicle an extension of your home. What would you allow your friends to do if they came to visit you in your room, in your space? Would you allow them to tear your room up? Would you allow them to smoke in your room? Would you allow them to deface your room? Would you allow that? More than likely, not.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
So your vehicle is an extension of your room. You have them treat your vehicle and you the same way you would have them to treat your room. You set parameters with your friends. And if they're real friends, they will respect those parameters and respect those boundaries. You have to be in charge. When your friends come over and your parents allow you to have visitation, your parents are leaving you in charge with their rules in place. When they allow you to drive a vehicle, they're giving you charge of that vehicle and you are in charge. And so you set the rules and you set the parameters. So you have to let your friends know, this is my space. I'm going to do this. And if you're the passenger, say, I only want to be a part of this if XYZ happens. If that's not going to happen, if there's going to be something that's outside of my personal boundaries, I'd rather not be a part of it. We can still be cool, but I'd rather not be a part of it.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was great advice. I will definitely follow that for prom and graduation season. I'm pretty sure you will too, Brandon,
Yes, I
right?
will. Yes, I will.
Okay, well, that wraps up today's episode of The Lunchroom. Thank you so much, Chief Whaley. We're going to give you another round of applause. I hoped everyone learned something new and feel inspired to kind of, keep this conversation going. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can keep up with anything new that's coming out.
As always, we'd love to hear from you guys. So drop your thoughts and questions in the comments and let us know which topics you want us to cover in the future. Thanks for hanging out with us. And remember to stay curious, stay connected, and we'll see you next time on The Lunchroom.
Bye,
Bye everyone.